Do you think salons per se, particularly when products are, something where customer needs to be educated, does salon play an important role? How would you, how would you second it?
See, when it talks about salon, because salon, of course, the trust factor is there. The education plays a very major role because the client who is walking into the salon trusts that hairstylist or the esthetician who is coming there. So, whatever they tell them and the kind of product bundling that they can do, and of course, like we at Esskay Beauty, what we do, we take a lot of initiatives to boost retail within the salon. So, like we have a brand called Macadamia Hair from USA, and it's a green and brown packaging. It's a very organic-based product, a natural-based product. So, in that, what we do, we have green balloons, and we create a Macadamia Hair Day concept. So, we actually, our team educate their customers within the salons, talking about how they can, so helping them, educating their customers about the brand, about the product. And the best part is education, because they don't have to, salons don't have to sell the product. They just have to do the consultation. Selling automatically happens. Because when they consult, so the hairdresser, if you're going to a salon, the hairdresser will make you feel that you've got the worst hair on this planet. So you have dandruff, you have frizzy hair, or you have very dry. So, and the client trusts them. So they try to ensure that you take out a yes out of that customer. So you need to use that, and ultimately it generates sales for the salon.
Anybody else has a point of view here?
I would totally agree to Shubham's point. So we had a similar, thing what we do at Seasoul as well. So we have recently launched a very revolutionary concept in the market with the fruit mask machine, where you basically make a fresh mask using fruits and vegetables in front of the client within minutes. And what our salons have been doing is like, they've called for the fruit facial parties. So where group of females are coming, they are being, getting their skin analysis done. They actually find it out, what skincare is actually good for them, what fruit is actually good for them, and get their customized masks done accordingly, and they can take it back home. So, it's definitely, education and awareness, as I previously said as well, is a very, very important thing. And to reach the mass, the best way is to do it through the, through the trainers, which are the therapists in our case. So I believe it's very, very important. Even, at Seasoul, we have certification courses where any salon that we start with has to go through a certification course that they are actually trained enough to use that product. Because tomorrow, if they use a wrong product on a different skin type and the results are something, which are not explainable, then it comes back to the brand, and we are not, no one would like to hear back that. So that's another thing from where we always see that it's very, very important that a right education is provided before you use a product.
Right. I just need to also add to Manisha's point that, when anybody walks into a salon or a spa, they really cherish the overall experience and the amount of time that they spend over there. So one caution that we have spread around in our own company to all our trainers, and I'm sure it is the same with everybody else, is you don't want to be too salesy, right? So certainly at the end of it all, you really want to sell your product, but you want to develop the relationship, right, with your clients. You want that client to come back 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times, right? Not that, you want to sell anything. And that also works well in some cases. It all depends upon who, what your client profile is, what segment of the market are you addressing, and what works for them, what probably doesn't work, for others. I'll give you one example. There's a company, not in our beauty industry, but they are in suitings and shirtings, right? For men's suitings and shirtings, called Sims. You know what their tagline is? An educated customer is our best customer. So they only, they're so focused that someone like, Rishi was mentioning that, we've got all kinds of information on the e-commerce website. So if someone who's done the research, who studied this, who's been convinced about the benefits of what products they should or should not be using, they are the ones who will stick to you, right? Everything else is a salesy job, which comes and goes in our market. Everything works because, there's a huge market, and there's a little bit of a compromise at time. on the loyalty of the customer versus the kind of targets that you may have?
In our boutiques, I think the moment a customer walks in, the first process is to ask if they are aware of the product. Of course, now we've been around for 15 months in Bombay. A lot of our regular customers know. But Ayurveda has these doshas based on the skin and hair type. So there's Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and there's three doshas. So the first step is to understand and to explain to the customer, to ask them first, what is your hair type, what is your skin type, and then recommend a product from our range, what they are looking for. So I think that whole process itself takes about 15 to 20 minutes first. So we are in those 15 to 20 minutes, my staff are not actually selling, but they're educating. So after that, the consumer is then left to their choice as to which aroma they want or which fragrance they want from the range of products which suits their skin type or hair type or whatever. So I think that part is very important as far as our business is concerned, and we've also realized that the customers appreciate understanding it, and all our communication, including on our website, our brochures, everything talks about this Vata Pitta Kapha concept of Ayurveda and how it's important to choose and select the right product based on your skin and hair type.
I'd like to add to that, because we are selling Ayurveda products. And initially, we had this body test form, which will tell you, based on Ayurveda forms, what kind of body type you have. And then you can shop for products based on your body type. We started that as an experiment, to see, the customer feedback. And we would, really categorize our products based on that by an Ayurveda expert. Now we have taken, a leap, and wow, we are adding skin test, hair test, and all kind of tests, which are, possible to buy the product. Earlier, it was only about products on the site. But now, we understood, that the customer wants to know, that which product is good for me. For one kind of problem, you may have 100 products. Tell me which one is the best. Yes, price plays a point, because we have to add different price points. So when I think of Salon, I think they have one advantage that, they have the beauty expert right there, who can recommend them product based on, the past experiences or the other customer's experience. But with us, the good thing is that we have multi-brands at multi-price points. So, we are not really biased to sell one or maximum two brands which are there generally existent in Salon. We have a whole lot of options. And, not one brand can solve all the problems, as, rightly mentioned. So that helps, for the e-commerce point of view. But, nevertheless, salons is where, the beauty lies.
Yeah, on the salon, I mean, I think it is recognized now in a big way that retailing of products in the salon needs to be focused on, right? Just as an attitude, just as a philosophy, a business kind of a focus needs to be there. Now, we in JB Skincare, as we partner with many of our clients and who are today in the audience, we also ensure that we advise and we also recommend the kind of esthetician that is required, right? The kind of traits that are required, the kind of training that the esthetician is required, to be, that the esthetician is required to undergo. So what that really means is that you really want to avoid a square peg in a round hole kind of a situation. If your esthetician does a good job just in the professional, then you've got to train them for the retail to a certain extent. But if the person does not really have a good marketing and a product promotion kind of an attitude, then you've got to look for replacements. I think it is important to place the right people who can actually further your business and take it far along, because today there is a problem of the percentage of the retail sales in the salon, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But most of our clients basically talk about how do you come out with new strategies. And I think one of the things is, you really have to have the right competent person behind this. Not just training is going to go only to a certain extent, but you really need to have that profile.
I agree with Bikram ji. Basically, we need to inculcate the habit of retailing from the inception. Like we at Esskay Beauty, we do complete setup for salons and spas. So whenever a new salon comes to our showroom, so we have tie-ups with the various interior designers and architects. So we recommend that try to take out some space or the other within the salon to retail the products. Because earlier, retail was an option for the salons, because when they used to do professional service, they used to consider only as a professional service. But nowadays, it's a must and essential for any salon. So we, right at the inception, when they come to our showroom, we help them to chalk out a various section within that salon in order to boost the retail products on various different categories. And then we also book them for specialized workshops. We have our own academy. So we book sessions in the academy where we train the therapists and the estheticians and the hairdressers in how they can consult. There are various innovative techniques. If we can go on, then this session will continue. So there are various innovative techniques which we teach the hairdressers or the estheticians, for which they can really help the salon to boost in their retail sales and increase their profitability.
Continuing on with all of this, I think it's a crime if you don't sell a customer who walks into a salon a retail size product. It's an absolute crime. There's someone who's walked into your shop with a problem, wants a solution, and you're not selling him something that's crazy. To me, it's nuts.
Actually think of doing co-branded boxes with salons.
No, but I think you need to incentivize your salon staff. They need to be on commissions. You need to have that, you need to almost have a sales philosophy with them. You have someone who's walked into your shop and is admitting to you, I have a problem with X. How are you not solving that? If you're not solving that, you need to look at your organization. You should be selling to every customer who walks in.
But do you actually do co-branded boxes?
We do.
With certain brands?
So we just did one with Forest this month in Feb. So we do it with different brands depending on either a brand philosophy, or for instance, the month after we're doing it with another brand called the Label Life. So they will do a co-branded box with us. They will curate the products for, so there's all kinds of options, and the marketing options with a concept like a box are unending. You can do so much for a brand.